Yes, I can. Thank you very much, Paul, and welcome everybody to this evening's training. And as usual, it's a great pleasure for me to spend this evening with you. And as you know, the year is winding down, and today we shall be having our recognition. And as Paul said, I'm sure there is lots of good news for us. And so, as you saw in your invite, I wanted to speak about something which I think will be some information that will be useful to us in the coming weeks, because maybe we'll take some time out in order to change our pace. So the topic today is rest and sleep. And of course, as you know, with our business, we carry our business wherever we go. So it does not mean that, let's say, if we change our pace, it means that we have closed our business and there's no business going on. What it means is that we can change our pace, but wherever we are, it's always all right and possible to do the business, because our antennas are always up looking for people who need what we have to offer. And as you know, what we have to offer is useful for everybody in terms of health, in terms of wealth, and in terms of improving their general quality of life. So just to start with the subheading of rest, rest is a requirement for our good health. So we're always talking about how to improve our health and how to make sure that our lifestyle supports our health. And we speak about various things, but I think that it's always important to keep in mind that rest is a very important issue in our good health. And when we speak about rest, it does not necessarily mean that we are doing nothing. Rest means taking a break from our ordinary activities, or changing our pace of activity, or intervening with different kind of activities so that we have a break from our normal pace or our normal work. So during the time that we are going to maybe take some time away, as I've said, it does not mean that we will close shop because we don't have physical shops to close, but it does mean that maybe we'll take a little more time to get in some rest, maybe assess our quality of sleep, so that, of course, by the time we finish the year, we will have had some chances of giving our systems an opportunity to rejuvenate. So rest will include, we can have activities as in active rest, or we can also have passive rest. So for example, here will depend very much on the personalities. So there are people who like craft work, so you maybe will take up some craft. Some people like dancing, singing. They may like going for walks, exercising. They may like reading. So maybe during the year you don't get as much time to read. But now you maybe because the schools are closed, and of course when the children are at home, sometimes there's even more uproar than when school is open. But it's just to recommend that you look at your situation and you see how you can incorporate things that bring about a rest in your mind and in your system. So of course, rest is there, but sometimes we confuse rest and sleep. These are two separate things. Our bodies need both. So rest is more in terms to do with activity and how we distribute our activities and periods of non-activity or change of pace. But sleep is an entirely different thing. We say that it is a mind-body state in which the senses are detached from our environment. So our senses are not giving our usual input. So when we are asleep, our eyes are closed, our ears are not hearing, unless someone shakes us up and wakes us up. So sleep is entirely different, and it's even more crucial for us than rest, because during sleep, there are a lot of important things that are taking place. And that is why it is important not to see sleep as a waste of time and to deny ourselves sleep, because the sleep we deny ourselves is going to be the efficiency we do not have in our work. So it's good to keep in mind that sleep is not just something we do because we have no option, our body is worn out and we can't make it work. It's something actually that contributes to our ability to be efficient and to be clear-minded and to work well. So the amount of sleep that is considered enough for a person, this is an adult, is between 7 and 9 hours a night. And for many of us, this will seem like a lot. I know when I first had this, I was thinking 9 hours. How am I ever going to get 9 hours of sleep? But this is what research has shown, that when we go below 7 hours, it is too little. And of course, by the time we pass 9 hours, it's a bit too much, because we may find that we are not as effective as we'd like to be. Of course, for young children and adolescents, these 9 hours plus is maybe 9 to 10 hours is actually recommended, because they need even more sleep, because their bodies are doing more than the bodies of an adult. So the required sleep, let us say, is between 7 and 9 hours. And when we go below 7, we are actually going to start seeing detrimental effects, especially if it is night after night that we are sleep deprived. Some of the conditions that we need to take care of to make sure, to help make sure that we get the sleep quality and the sleep quantity that we need is, number one, darkness is quite important, because we are not nocturnal. We evolved to sleep during the night. And so darkness actually plays an important role. So as much as we are able, whether it is the curtains that we use, if let's say we live in the city and there is a lot of electric lights around us, then we can look at the kind of curtains we have that can block out the light during the night, so that it allows us to have that time of darkness during the sleep, because it makes it possible for us to sleep, to get a better quality of sleep. So another thing is that in the days we are living in, there is we have a lot of screens and things that give off light, like maybe light coming out of the refrigerator, light coming out of the TV, light coming out of our laptops or our telephones, and all these gadgets that we've got. So it is considered a good practice for good sleep to switch off screen devices 2 hours before bedtime. So of course, you may continue listening, but you should put the device out, the light of the device out. So for example, you can cover it, or you can put it in a way that the light does not shine on you. And this is because the light that is emitted by many devices today actually interfere with our brain's capacity to regulate the sleeping and waking hours. So this can over time actually be a problem in you getting the quality of sleep that you actually need. And we are going to speak about sleep quality just now. So that is darkness. Then the next thing is we require silence. So if we are in a situation where we cannot get the silence that we need, there are certain apps that you can have on your phone that provide background noise, and this is going to help to even out the other noises that might disturb your sleep. Or you can use earplugs, which block out sound also. And I normally find that I'm a bit nervous of using earplugs, because if something is happening in the house, you might not be able to hear it if there is an emergency. So I think a better practice is maybe to use these apps that give a background noise if you live in a noisy area and you're not able to provide yourself with the silence that ensures good quality sleep. Then the third thing is to avoid drinking stimulants. So for example, coffee late in the day. This can interfere with some people's sleep. Some people don't feel any effects, but others have very adverse effects on their quality of life when they drink certain things like sodas and coffee and so on. So avoid stimulants. You can drink some of the teas, the herbal teas that like our Neolife tea will not interfere, or aloe veras. These are not stimulants. They are going to support your rest. But the more stimulating drinks are not recommended. Then another thing to mention is sometimes it seems that alcohol can be relaxing and help us to sleep. But the thing is that what alcohol does is impair the quality of our sleep, because it is more sedating than sleeping. Sedation and sleep are not the same thing. We need sleep, not sedation. Maybe if we are sick and in hospital, we might need sedation, or if something is happening to us. But normally we don't need sedation. What we need is sleep. And so if we are using alcohol, what it will do is impair the quality of our sleep. And then finally, in this section, I wanted to mention that I think I've also already mentioned that we have what is called a circadian rhythm. We have got times when we should be awake and times when we should be asleep. And this is linked to our ability to digest food correctly. It's linked to our ability for our minds to work sharply. It is linked to very many of our body systems. So we should follow this daytime sleep, and daytime being awake and nighttime being asleep. But of course, there are those who work shift jobs where they have to work during the night. Then in this case, if it is possible not to have very prolonged period of switching to sleeping during the day and waking at night, and where possible, I would recommend that someone who is doing shift job, it is so very detrimental to the health that we should recommend that they look at joining our Neolife business so that they are able to get out of shift work. It is actually quite detrimental to the health. But in the meanwhile, when they're in this kind of work, they should try to protect their sleeping time so that they are able to get the sleep they need if they are going to be awake all night. Okay, then the quality of sleep is the next section that I wanted to talk about. So a good sleep cycle takes place in stages. And I'm going to mention the stages. The first stage is when we initially go to sleep. It is called light sleep. Here it's a brief period in which we are falling asleep and we can easily wake up. But what happens is that our heart rate begins to drop and our breathing begins to slow down and our muscles start to relax. So that is as we are going to sleep. Again, here we are not yet deep asleep. We can easily wake up. And if you're not getting quality sleep, you might be spending all your time in light sleep. This is not restful enough. It is just the beginning. And then the next stage is the deep sleep. So in the deep sleep, the heartbeat now slows down, the body temperature begins to drop, and our eyeballs stop moving inside the sockets. So that we see that we are now becoming very still. So this now is deep sleep. This is quite useful. But then we go to even deeper sleep, which is called the slow wave or the delta sleep. This is the deepest sleep, and it is hard to wake up from it. Maybe you have ever tried to wake up someone if something is happening in the middle of the night, and you find that they don't wake up easily. You might have to shake them and so on. That could be because they are in delta sleep, which is very deep. And it is during this is a crucial sleep, because during this time, the body repairs itself. Everything has slowed down, and the demands on our body and on our mind have been reduced. So this is when the repair of our tissues take place. Our immune system is strengthened, so the immune cells and the tissue that produces immune cells are hard at work during this time. And this is also extremely important because during this time, we are cleaning the brain. Remember, the brain has been at work the whole day, receiving information from the environment, sending out responses, and so on. And so it is only when we reach this delta sleep that the body has slowed down enough for the brain to, the cleaning processes of the brain to take place. And then, so that is the slow wave or the delta sleep. And then the next stage is called the REM sleep. So the REM sleep is when dreams occur. Okay, so now it's slightly less deep. It's the sleep in which we dream. Our eyeballs can be moving inside behind our eyelids, but our limbs are paralyzed, so our limbs don't move. Our body temperature and our brain activity, however, begin to pick up. So you can see REM sleep is still deep, but it's not as deep as the delta or the deep sleep. It's as if we are starting to come out of that very deep sleep. So these are the 4 stages. So the light sleep, the deep sleep, the delta sleep, and the REM sleep. And these sleeps form the 4 stages of good quality sleep. And these 4 stages form a cycle. So each of the 4 stages lasts for about 90 minutes. and then we start another cycle. So sometimes you may see during the night that you become a bit more wakeful and then you fall back to sleep. That is because you have finished one cycle and you're starting another cycle, and this is okay. And on a given night, we can have between 4 and 6 cycles. So these 4 stages take place and start again 4 times. And so if we are having a good sleep cycle, then we'll have each of these 4 stages. And that way, all the things that our body needs to get from sleep, we shall get. Because in fact, you may have had some people saying that during the night, they actually go to bed with a problem, and in the morning, they find that the solution to the problem just becomes clear to them. That is because in the course of the night, our brains may be able to sort things out in a pattern or an order that was not quite visible to us when we were tired. But as a result of getting a good night's sleep, we wake up refreshed, and actually we will have sorted out some of these things and they become clearer to us in the morning. So then, what are some of the negative effects of sleep deprivation? For those of us who are parents, we know that during the years when we have small children, there's a lot of sleep deprivation. We are always trying to get enough sleep, and we keep on getting disturbed. And you will probably remember, if your children maybe are now grown up, that it was quite tough because you had to do with very little sleep. And of course, this is okay in those years when this is necessary, but it cannot be a permanent thing because there are negative effects to sleep deprivation. And the first one I have here is that it reduces our ability to concentrate or focus our attention. In fact, sometimes you may find that a child is being diagnosed with ADD, or people are saying they have got attention deficit. But one of the problems that could be behind this is actually inadequate sleep or poor quality sleep, because these days sometimes you will notice that our children have their phones on for when they go to bed with the phone, they have the phone on the whole time. And this because of the light from the screen, because of all the stimulation from the phone, they might not be getting good sleep. And what we might think is attention deficit disorder is actually sleep deprivation. And we ourselves, we know that when we have maybe not gotten enough sleep, and especially if it is for 2-3 nights, we start being unable to concentrate and focus our attention on whatever we are dealing with. So if we have not slept for more than 20 hours, we will start having impaired mental clarity. And in fact, it is considered, if you have not slept for 20 hours, you are in the same state as someone who is slightly drunk. It means that your reactions and your problem-solving ability is actually quite reduced. Just after missing 20 hours of sleep, you already are losing your mental efficiency. And so for that reason, it is good to take into account the fact that if we have been deprived of sleep for a long time, we see how we can make up for it. And then sleep deprivation can also lead to something that is called microsleep, in which we get almost like a few 30 seconds of falling deeply asleep and then waking up again. The problem with this is that if we are driving or we are handling machinery, it can cause a serious accident, because for those moments when our mind has blanked out into sleep, we can actually find that we have lost control of the machinery. And so if we notice that we are beginning to nod off, it tells us that we need to either check if we are getting enough sleep, or if it is time to go to bed, then to wind up our day and go and get that sleep. Another negative effect of sleep deprivation is in our mood. When we have been lacking sleep, we notice this quite easily in children. If they have not gotten their enough sleep, then we find that they are more moody and more difficult and unmanageable. But even for us adults, if we have been deprived of sleep for long, then what happens is that we tend to be short-tempered, we lose our temper quickly, and we find even a problem that we can easily deal with can make us quite cross and unable to reach a resolution quickly. So for that reason, and of course for more, because I'm not mentioning all the negative effects of sleep deprivation, it is important to take into account the availability of opportunities to actually get in that sleep. And then what are the benefits of getting good sleep? These are very many good things that happens to us as we take the opportunities to sleep. The first is that, of course, it gives the brain an opportunity to eliminate toxins that are linked to illnesses, and these illnesses include Alzheimer's. So we know that in Alzheimer's, some of the evidence has shown that there are certain toxins that accumulate in the brain and start forming plaque. So if our brains are not getting deep sleep, are not getting cleaned during deep sleep, then of course the toxins are going to accumulate. And so for that reason, getting all the 4 stages of sleep is quite crucial. Then the next benefit is that because our brains are sharper, we are more efficient, and therefore our productivity and creativity is greater, and even our energy production is more efficient, so we are able to do more. Then the third thing is that we, of course, our moods are elevated, and we find that we are better able to cope with any issues that come along, and we find ourselves more able to think about how to solve a problem rather than to feel that the problem has overwhelmed us from the beginning. So better mood and better coping ability, better ideas on how to solve problems, and a feeling of actually being adequate rather than inadequate to face whatever the day brings. And then, of course, another thing is that adequate rest and sleep help to improve the quality of the skin and our ability to heal. If we have got some injuries, we heal better when we get good sleep and rest. And of course, our skin also is improved by getting good sleep. And that is why there is a common saying that we are getting our beauty sleep. It's because it actually has an effect on our skin. And maybe for those of you who would travel maybe a lot, you may have noticed that if you've been flying for long distances, like if you are going on a long trip by plane, when you reach the other side, your skin might start having rashes. And this can usually be partially related to inadequate rest and inadequate sleep. Then turning our attention to the products that can help us in ensuring rest and sleep. The first one here is CalMag, and also magnesium, because in some of our markets, we have magnesium separate, but in some markets, we have it in combination with calcium. So that's why I'm mentioning either CalMag or magnesium. Magnesium is very important in helping to improve the deep sleep so that we can get into that deep sleep. So if we do not have magnesium in our market, we can use CalMag, because calcium also helps to play a role in the relaxation process. So number one there for us is CalMag in helping to improve rest and sleep. And of course, because we say that the body repairs itself during sleep, you'll imagine that a mineral like calcium will be getting used to repair our skeleton, which might have been worn out as a result of activities, sports, and so on. The next product is Aloe Vera Plus, which helps in relaxation, and also it soothes our digestive system. Although you'll remember that it is not a good practice to eat a heavy meal just before bedtime. We should eat the last heavy meal maybe 2 or 3 hours before we go to bed. But Aloe Vera Plus does a useful job of helping us to relax, and it soothes our digestive system so that we do not have things like maybe bloating and gas disturbing us as we fall asleep. Then for those of you who have it in your market, Herbal Rest and Relax Complex is an important composite of herbs that have been found to help in reducing moderate anxiety and assisting us to relax, and helps us to maintain sleep. Because, sometimes we can fall asleep, but we find that we wake up maybe when one cycle is over, and then we are not able to go back to sleep. So the Herbal Rest and Relax can help us to maintain the cycles of sleep until we sleep throughout the night. So this is for moderate anxiety. If it is greater than moderate, then of course you might need to take other things, medical things. But sometimes the reason why we find that our sleep is disturbed and we are not able to go back to sleep is because we are anxious about something. So for this, herbal rest and relax can help. Then the fourth product is NutriShake, which provides us with a broad range of amino acids, since it's a protein supplement. And some of these amino acids help the brain to manufacture the hormones and chemicals that it needs to regulate sleep, because our brains regulate our sleeping and waking cycle. And when we are sleeping well, we find that when it's time to wake up, we wake up and our minds are clear and we are ready to get up. So the amino acids that NutriShake provides us plays an important role in helping our brain to produce the substances it needs to regulate the sleeping and waking cycle. Then the last that I'll mention here is threonine. So threonine also we know helps in tissue in cellular nutrition. And if we talk about our body renewing itself, then of course threonine always has a very important role. So the supplementation with threonine is going to be useful in order to help the body in doing those things that it does during sleep. So I think I should stop there because my time is up. And I think, Paul, I'm not sure if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you, Betty.
Yes, I think that maybe I can hand over because I know we need every minute that we can get for the recognition. So I just want to thank you very much for your attention, and to also let you know that this is going to be our last product session for 2021. It has been a lot of pleasure for me, and I'm very much hopeful that the information and sharing that we have done has played a useful role in giving you things that you can use in your own personal life, as well as in your circle of influence amongst your distributors, your family, and your friends, to help them to improve their health by changing their lifestyle, improving their lifestyle, by also knowing which products to recommend and so on. And so I'll take the opportunity to wish you all the best in the month of December. As I said, we'll continue working. It's just that it will be at a different pace. And as usual, if you would like to ask me a question, you can always send me a question in my phone, and I'm going to respond directly to you as soon as I'm able. And just to appreciate very much your faithfulness in attending training, and to encourage you, if you do not get recognized, to share in the rejoicing of those who are going to be recognized, and to get to work so that you too will be recognized. And all the best in all your efforts. So Paul, if maybe you can take it away. I think Pascal will join you shortly.
Thank you so much, Betty, for sharing that session with us. We are very grateful for the work that you have been able to put in to make sure literally almost every Thursday of this year, every Thursday of this year, we have a product session. We know a lot of work goes into making sure that you do a lot of research and put the notes together. We cannot thank you enough. So on behalf of the distributors who are on the call and the company of Neolife, we really want to appreciate you. We don't know how we can be able to pay you. When you come to Kenya, just be sure that there's a product amber waiting for you.
But when you do well, then I'm always happy. I'm very delighted when now we are going to have the recognitions. That is my reward. I'm always delighted when we are doing better. So you are doing everything that could possibly make me happy with our sessions.
Thank you. Thank you, Betty. We really thank you so much. And, for always being there with Pascal, even during some family time. I'm sure leaders, you can be able to send Betty a message of love, especially during this season, even on the chat session is actually open. You can just share your love and appreciation to Betty and Pascal for what they have done to us over the 2 years which they have been with us. So thank you so much, Betty. So we are going straight to our recognition. And just as Betty said, it's time for us to be able to, look at what has happened in the month of November. As I said, and there's also Betty repeated that November was a good month. We have been able to really get a lot of people stepping up and doing amazing things. And that is why we are on this call today, so that we can be able to recognize. Why? Because in the company of Neolife, we know recognition is very important, and we give it where it is due. Why? Because we know our children will cry for it, and men will be able to fight for it. So that is why we are here, to be able to recognize you. And if you don't hear your name, don't be sad. Just clap for those who are being recognized, and you never know. Just keep on doing the things that we are talking about, and you will be the next person that we are going to recognize by the end of the month of November. So I can see Pascal is ready, is already here. Pascal, should I continue? Then you can pick somewhere.
Yes,
you want to
yes.
start off? Okay, then let me start. Okay. So we are going to do our recognition for the month of November, and we are going to start with just a reminder on our mission, which is to make the world a healthier and happier place. And we know this starts with each and every one of you on the call. So if you're a guest today, you might not be able to get every terminology and all the words that we are going to use today. But guess what? If you join us and you'll be able to do the things that we are talking about, we'll definitely give you a recognition one of these days. So the first recognition is for the people that said yes to this opportunity. So they took their first step. They were a guest in one of the meetings, and they said yes to this opportunity. So we want to see the people who joined our opportunity. And in Uganda, we had 84 people. Okay, let me just repeat that. In Uganda, we had 84 people who said yes. In Kenya, we had 244 people. And in Tanzania, we had 731 people saying yes. This is the highest number of people that have said to the opportunity of Tanzania in 1 month so far. We want to say a big congratulations to our team in Tanzania for doing an excellent job. They're just shy of 800. And this month they promised to go to 1,000. So in total, in East Africa, we had over 1,000 people who joined our business. And I just want to say congratulations to all those people. If you're on call today, speak to the person who brought you to this opportunity. They'll be able to share with you much information on how you can be able to take your next step. And also our distributors, thank you so much for doing an excellent job in the month of November. So the next category is managers. So these are people who have started earning from the bonus scheme and of the company. And these are some of the benefits that you get when you step up as a manager. Number one, you get a recognition like what you are doing today, and you're applying, or you're in your country, you'll be able to get a pin which shows now that you are not a distributor, you're a manager. You start attending special schools for managers, and you're earning retail profit from all the products that you use and the products that you recommend to your customers. Then on top of that, you start earning the sales volume bonus, which is between 3 and 5% of your own effort and that of the team. And guess what? You are on your way to becoming a senior manager. So let's see the managers that stepped up in our business in the month of November. And in Uganda, we had 12 managers. In Kenya, we had 45. And Tanzania, a good distance lead there with 179 new managers. So in total, we had 236. And I just want to say a big congratulations to Tanzania, and also a big congratulations to all the managers, the brand new managers who are on the call today. Good job, well done. Let's look forward for the next step. And that is the step of a senior manager. A senior manager is somebody who is building a good network of business. So they have some people that are building with them. And what are the benefits of becoming a senior manager? One of them is you receive recognition like we are doing today, and there's a senior manager pin waiting you either with your upline or in your country. So you'll be able to get that. Number two, you attend special schools for senior manager. We had some this year, which were quite exciting schools. And we are now in the context for the next senior manager school, which is going to be in the month of February. And the context began in the month of November, which is gone, and now the month of December and January. So 3 months, you qualify 2 out of 3 as a qualified senior manager, and you sponsor 4 people personally, and you'll be able to attend that special school for all senior managers. And though you're getting retail profit, your sales volume bonus have moved between 10 to 20%. And then you'll be able to participate to get some free products in your country. And then you're on your way to becoming a director. So let's see the senior managers that we produced in our region in the month of November. And as you can see here, Uganda, we had 13, Kenya 23, Tanzania 44, and in total, we had 80 new senior managers in that month. So the other category that we are going to go is for qualified senior managers. These are senior managers who are doing over 1,000 PVs. And in Uganda, we had 4, Kenya 9, Tanzania 32, in total 45. And I just want to say congratulations to all those senior managers. You know, when you qualify as a senior manager and as a qualified senior manager, that is somebody who's doing over 1,000 PVs. And that is somebody who's building a good team. So let's see our brand new qualified senior managers. We have Lillian. Let me just call the name. We have there's somebody who's raising their hand. I just need to bring it down. Okay, 1 second. There we go. So we have Lillian Samoy and Christopher Saina. We have Veronica Kuria and Charles Jeru, Edith and Tasi Teresia Batia, Furaha and Eda Mwaijoka, Anitha Swepa, Zaria and Isa Mpuni, Pancresia Mariwa and Jacob, Sekela Mwabene and Anthony, Apasia Monkey and Mabula, Oliver Koroso, Nyakorema Rioba and John Gariba, Fatma Mlama and Vivian Mtaga, Neema Mtango, Ezekia Kaminyonke, Lightness and Light Malungu. So these are our brand new qualified senior managers for the month of November. And I just want to say a big congratulations. And actually, these are not brand new qualified senior managers. These are senior managers who have been able to qualify for the senior manager incentive. So these people have been able to qualify for some free products in their country. Okay, so just look into your country. I know Kenya and Uganda, you are getting 2 bottles of aloe vera plus, and Tanzania, you're also getting some good products there. So when you do your first order in the month of December, you qualify to get the product. So go to your warehouse tomorrow, do the first order if you have not done, and get your products so that you can be able to enjoy with your family. So that is Christmas Come Early. For those ladies and gentlemen, the list continues. We have Mare Khalid and Malay Khalid, Paulina Sylvester Morris, Deborah Swai, Halima Rajab and Musa, Rose Mbuya and Elias Munoa, Lydia Moshi, Kalista Koba, you have Victoria Malesa, Margaret Mukwizu and Lucrecia, Lanatha Lema and Richard, Paulo Richard and Nathaniel, Catherine Nyanda and Clarence, Zakia Salim and Freddie, Charity Akida and Zakaria, Pierotto and Asmin, Nadine, Raphael Juko, Budala Bawonke. Okay, so those are other people in that list. So we say congratulations. Make sure you get your products once you do your first order in the month of December. So the other category is executive managers. These are people who are doing more than the 1,000. We call them executive. Anybody who's doing between 2,000, 3,000 QPV together with the team. And I just want to look at how many people stepped up to that category of executive manager, and you can see the numbers here. Okay, I think there is an activation there. Uganda, we have 1 person. Kenya, we have 3. Tanzania, we had 16. So in total, it's 20. So let's look at those people who managed to step up to, executive manager. We have Angela Nakayama, Kalista Koba, Nehema Charles. We have Grace Bane and Paul Mshana. We have Gloria Tairo, also stepped up. We have Johari Salim Mwanga. Okay, my list is just going slowly. We have Oliver Losubo. We have Neema Kinyangu and Josephat. We have Zakaria and Isa. The next one is Silanga Tumaini and Ahizo. Ephraim Mwazoni and Ruth. Okay, we have Edith and Tasi Teresia. The other one is Catherine Nyanda and Clarence. I think I've mentioned that name. Renatha, Lema, and Richard, they are doing good job. We have Julitha Abdallah and Daudi. We have Elasto Temba and Janet Dominic. Irene Mtei and Stefano Mfikwa. We have Joshua Mwangi and Naomi Masharia. Okay, we have David Wambua Mudheki, and last and not least, we have Faith Gaira and Eriud Abani. So congratulations to all those people who have been able to, step up to that category of executive manager. So the other category is 3 in 30. Our distributors knows how we do 3 in 30, and I just want to call the names. And we are starting with 3 in 30, 1 star. Okay, so these are people who have been able to sponsor 3 people in a month, and those people have been able to do over 100 PV. So when you do that, you become a 3 in 30 star. You get a pen from the company, and you also get a pin which shows you have been able to do a 3 in 30 business. So I just want to call the names. That is Lillian Samoy and Christopher. Okay, we have Veronica Kuria and Charles Njiro. We have Zaria Isana, Panacracia Maliwa and Jacob, Apasia Monkey and Mabula, Consolata Korongo and Sylventas, Samson Mjenki and Anifa, Nema Mtango, Lightness and Evanlight Malungu, Paulina Sylvester Mori. We have Deborah Swai, Victoria Malesa, Margaret Mukwizu and Mlacha, Paulo Richard and Nathaniel Ilunda, Zakia, Cyrus and Freddy, Piorot, Ongepoma. Then we have Rafael Juko. Okay, so those people have been able to do 3 in 31 star. Let's see those who have been able to do 3 in 32 star. We have Emma Wainya and Olive Wachango, Irene Ondera and Shaibu Mgeni, Fatuma Mlama and Vivian Tanka, Mre Khalid, Janet Masancha, Lydia Moshi, Kalista Koba. We have Teresia and Rosina Masawe, Vivian Samuel Macha. We have Raneda Lema, Catherine Nyanda, Charity Akinda and Zakaria Dani. So those people have been able to do 3 in 32 star, meaning they have done it for the second mandate. We want to say a big congratulations to all of them. Let's see whether we have people who have been able to do 3 in 30 star. We have Pahulo Luhomola, Oliver Lusubiro, Ezekia Makaminyonke. We have Ross Mbuya and Elias Munoa. So those people have been able to do 3 in 30 star. Okay. So the other one is we go to 4 star. That is 3 in 30 4 stars, meaning they are doing it for the 5th month. Okay, let's see whom we have. We have Sekela and Anthony Muganya. Shadidu Swahib and Rema Juma, Dorothea Pascal, Shanifu Kasanchi. So those people have been able to, repeat that for the 5th month. And they've been able to become a 4-star, just 1 month to be able to become the next superstar. So superstars are people who have been able to do it for 6 months. So let's see for our superstars in November. We have Grace and Philip Bosire. Congratulations, Grace and Philip. We have Edith and Tasi Teresia Batia. Congratulations. Nyakorema Rioba and John Gariba. Congratulations. Alima Rajab and Musa. Then we have Budala Bawonke. All right. So those are our 3 in 30 superstars. And we want to say congratulations. Your gifts are waiting for you at the warehouse nearest to you in your country. And keep on doing it. Don't stop there. Keep on doing the 3 in 30 every single month so that you can be able to grow your business. So the other category is personal sponsoring. People have been able to sponsor 3 people personally. The 3 in 30 star, you can do it with a team as long as you have sponsored 1 person yourself. So these are people who have been able to sponsor 3 in 30 personally. We have Veronica Kuria and Charles, Charity, Sabila and Mark, Frederick and Margaret Gishuki. Those are all team members. Emma Wahinya and Olivia, Lydia and Ruth Mwesa, Mary Jane, Arnold. We have Mesha Kioli and Catherine, Frederick and Doreen Alunda, Grace and Philip Bosire. Congratulations. Sally Simoto and Kibi Kibet, Grace Chege and Caesar Gitago, another world team member, Paulina Sylvester Maurice, Consolata Koronko, Rebecca Basil and Francis. They're also world team members in Tanzania. All right. The list continues. Lillian, Kalian, and William. We have Zakia Salim and Denny Nasri and Glory Urono. Pendo Masawe and Dixon Mwacha, another world team member. Edith Batia and Teresia. We have Nyakoreba, Rioba, and John. We have Rita Mfoy and Edward. Edna Joseph Lisu. Elizabeth Daniel Kibula. Gati Matthew and Joel Musira, also world team members. Congratulations. Kalista Koba and Fumugensi. Miriam Gata and Prospine Mushi, Oceana and Jason. Congratulations, Lydia Moshi. Okay, the list continues. We have Beatrice Haman and Beatrice Musofio and Aman Kizito, world team members as well. Deborah Swai, congratulations. Juliet Justin and Genoveva. Charity Akida and Zakaria. Mwana Hamisi Mahinja, Sahid Hassan Omari, Rehema Kayoba, Felista Diogresia. We have Amina Ndenda and Mike, Rilian Donke and Kasian, Farida Salim and Karunki, Mwanahid and Jumaine, Kananda, Janet Msaja and Edward. We have Esther Pahulo and Magdalene. Okay, the list is so long for 3 people. For people who sponsor 3 people: Vivian Samuel Macha, Kahida and Edina, Shamsa Mohammed, Khadija Ibrahim, our present team member Zubeda and Fatma Kichawele, Hannes Lugayansa, okay, Pioreto again, and Asman. We have Rafael Juko, our present team member from Uganda, Sam and Miriam Kanakulia. Congratulations. Wow, all those people have been able to sponsor 3 people in 1 month personally. So let's see, people have been able to sponsor 4 people: Florence Okech and Paul Orao, our world team members here in Kenya. Rachel Ndama, we have Jonchina Syria, Isaac and Purity Ndungu, world team members in Kenya. Constantine Cecilia, world team member in Tanzania. Neema Charles, Opportuna Nichombe, Maureen and Emma Joseph, Veronica and Charles, Veronica Mkinga and Charles Lamek, a world team member in Tanzania. Margaret Mkwizu and Lucrecia, Fabian Fiume and Antonio Fiume, Okay, so those people have been able to sponsor 4 people moving forward as well. Dorothea Makayula, Marie Khalid, Stella Mrema, and Albert Kaimukulwa, our world team member from Tanzania. Good job. Loveness Malungu and Evan Light, also a world team member. Lightness and Evan Light Malungu from Tanzania. Renatha Lema and Richard. Zaria, Isa and Mpuni, Teresia and Rosina Masawe, Leah and Lightness, Shirima, Maliwavyo, Kasereka, and Eugene. So they have been able to sponsor 4 people, all those people, and we want to say a big congratulations to each and every one of them. Let's see whether we have people sponsored 5 people. Sponsoring was very good in the month of November. Joshua Mwangi and Naomi Masharia, Shanif Kisanchi, Neema Mtango, Pancresia Maliwa, our president team member, Dora Juma and Bingi Nyakwela. Congratulations, 5 people. So all those people were able to sponsor 5 people, and I like the way our leaders are leading from the front. So let's see whether we have people who sponsored 6 people. We have Joyce Ponianga. Congratulations, Joyce. Oh, Joyce sponsored as 6 people. Congratulations. Let's see whether we have people who sponsored 7 people. Yes, our world team member, Usnam Kupete and Oswald Mwihava, congratulations. Catherine Nyande and Clarence. I really want to meet Catherine. She has appeared literally on almost every category. She has been able to sponsor 7 people. So I just want to say congratulations to those who sponsored 7. And we move to 10, distributors. We have Witness Bunchi. Congratulations, Witness from Tanzania. You sponsored 10 people personally. Let's see whether we have people who sponsored more than 10. We have somebody who sponsored 11 people, and that is Agnes Kazinza and Watson Mtewele. We want to say congratulations again from Tanzania. She sponsored 11 people. So this is our super sponsor, sponsoring 15 people in 1 month. And that is none other than Jospat and Pieros Kariuki, our president team members from Kenya. They sponsored 15 people, and they have been sponsoring. They're actually, the best sponsors in East Africa as per our East Africa Convention 2021. We want to say a big congratulations to them once again for sponsoring. So let's see let's go to top 10 personal PVs. These are PVs that people have been able to do in their name. So we are looking at the top 10. We have Patricia and Athanasia Konso, 2,697. Jennifer and Bernard Bura, 2,921. Antrian Baruti, 3,558. Congratulations. Bella Mary Bokongo and Joe Kimani, 3,240. Bella is our number 1 in East Africa Convention personal sponsoring. Joy Wambui and Chelengat Angela, 3,301. Kemirembe and Evangelina Mchanusi, 3,699. Jacqueline Masawe and Thomas Mushis, 3,776. Abubakar Isa and Idu Salehe, 4,174. Congratulations. Then we have Magdalene Kidava, 4,232. Congratulations, Magdalene. May and Penny Mugilwa, 4,544. That's a world team member actually in Tanzania who was our top personal PVs in the month of November. And we want to say a big congratulations for a job well done. So the next category, moving quickly, is that of directors. And I just want to say, to see the directors that stepped up in the month of November. And we have people who are doing really well. So these are the benefits of director. I won't go through them right now, but there are quite a lot. When you become a director, there's a lot that you get to enjoy. So let me look at our brand new directors in the month of November. We have Christine Ondari and Bob Bosire. Congratulations, Christine and Bob. Florentina Matia and Ezekia Mwakaje. Congratulations. Paulina Sylvester Morris. Congratulations. Francisca Simon and Cassian Baraka, Lydia Moshi, Jacqueline Masawe and Thomas Mushi, Raphael Juko, and some of these people, they have appeared in so many categories, meaning they are people who are really doing an amazing job. So those are our directors for the month of November. We want to wish them all the best and say a big congratulations for building an amazing business. So let's see whether we had brand new Emerald directors in the same month of November. And yes, Jacqueline Baruti and Musi Sudi, congratulations, Jacqueline Baruti. Omari Kaukuya and Fridaus Kombe, congratulations, Omari and Fridaus. Amina and Asia Haji, congratulations. Antrian Baruti, congratulations. Joyce Ponyanga, congratulations. Rizik Joseph and Fanikio Misingaro, congratulations. So those are our brand new Emerald directors. There's still a lot of space. If you're if you're a director, that is a place where you need to belong. So let's see whether we have brand new Sapphire directors in the month of November. And indeed, we had brand new Sapphire directors, and that is Catherine Samuel and Franklin Chekani. Congratulations, Catherine Samuel and Franklin. I think Catherine, if I'm not wrong, she's building a business in Dodoma, you know, the capital city of Tanzania. We just want to say a big congratulations. We'll be able to find Catherine maybe in one of our meetings to be able to share a story so that we can be able to get to know how she became a brand new Sapphire director. So moving forward quickly, let's see whether we have a brand new Ruby director in our business. And yes, we have a brand new one Ruby director, and that is none other than Veronica Bianca and Dennis Boyer. Okay, Veronica Bianca came to our screens the other day sharing her story in Swahili, and she's just an amazing lady building her business in Kigoma. There is no office. She's getting all her products from Dar es Salaam, and she's building such a wonderful business. When I was in Dar es Salaam for the director school in the month of October, she actually this month of November beginning, she actually brought a brand new car. She came with it to the directors meeting, and she was so excited. So I just want to say congratulations, Veronica Bianca and Dennis, for building such a big team. We'll be able to bring them so that they can also be able to continue to share their stories. So there's also what we call consistency bonus. I just want to look at directors who earn some consistency bonus, and that is Glory Isowe and John Fueme. They got 145,000 T shillings on top of all the other benefits. Okay. So the other category of Emerald is the Emerald Directors and World Team Member Consistency Bonus. And these are people who are, you know, getting more money because of sharing their success. We have Consolata Korongo and Sylventus Mayenga, 145,000 T shillings. Genoveva, Josiah, and Justin Chiro, 145,000 as well. We have Mercy Kahaba and Joel Martin, 316,000 T shillings. Dennis and Rachel Tumshabe from Uganda, 358,000 Uganda shillings. Then we have Frederick and Margaret Gishuki from Kenya, an extra 10,000 Kenya shillings. Lafness Malungu and Evan Light Nanyaro, 216,000 T shillings. We have Stella Mrema and Albert Kaimukulwa from Tanzania, 216,000 T shillings. Beatrice Msofeo and Kizito, our three Ruby directors, they got 540,000 T shillings. Our three Ruby director again, Usna Mukupete and Oswald Mwihava, 216,000 T shillings. So that is money which they have been able to get over and above for sharing the opportunity of Neolife. So the next category as we finish our recognition is step up bonuses. When you step up as a WOW team member, whichever category, there is more money that you get. So let's see whether we have some people earn some money. We have Cecilia Constantine from Tanzania. She earned an extra 1.1 million T shillings as Sapphire Director. Congratulations, Cecilia. And guess what? Our president team member, Rose and Raymond Baruti from Tanzania, they got an extra 8 million shillings. I cannot imagine the smile in their pockets, if not on their faces. That is good money, I'm sure. Ray, you have been able to go shopping, so I should be coming to Tanzania soon before you finish that money. But we want to say, there's so much money that you can be able to get from the company of Neolife. As long as you just continue to do the basics, what we show you, you'll be able to get a lot of money. So continue doing what we are teaching you, what you're learning from your upline. I can tell you, you'll be able to get a lot of this kind of money. So I want right now to just first thank you so much for being part of this meeting, and gracing this day, and making sure that we have an amazing meeting today. So I just want to congratulate everybody who has been mentioned in one category or the other for a job well done. And as we are looking at December, it's another month when we can be able to celebrate you for doing an exceptional job. So thank you so much for coming out to listen to us. Let's go out there. Let's apply the things that we have been able to learn so that we can be able to be the next person who is being congratulated in the next opportunity that we are going to get. So right now, I want to take us to Pascal to be able to give us some closing remarks. So thank you so much. God bless you, Pascal.
Oh, thank you very much. We really appreciate sharing those recognitions. I'm very sure all those people who've been recognized on stage and have received bonuses, have received recognition, I am almost certain that all those people who told you no, you're not thinking about them. Or maybe you're thinking about them, you want to send them a picture of your check that you've just earned, or you want to send them a recognition that you've just received today. So what I wanted to share with you is how to discipline your disappointment. In this business, you're going to be disappointed. You're going to set up a meeting and people don't show up, or somebody says they'll do something and they don't do. It's very important to realize that you're going to go through that process. And when you realize that, it's very important to discipline your emotions. I remember when Betty and I were doing the business, we started a team in Botswana, and Gaborone is about 270 kilometers from Pretoria. Betty and I left at 6 o'clock in the morning. We crossed the border at about 9:30, we were in Gaborone. But even our downline, who was supposed to arrange for the meeting, disappeared. We did not find any of these people. So Betty and I decided to have breakfast, toured the town, got back in the car, and drove back to Pretoria. Was it disappointing? Yes. But you see, when Betty and I went on stage as 1 Ruby, 2 Ruby, when we took our step to President's team member 4 Ruby, did we think about those people who said no, who disappeared? No. So I'd like you to learn to discipline your disappointment. A few ideas. Number one is that you're going to meet people who are going to say no. So remember that. Number two, you're going to meet people, some customers, either who order a product and then don't buy, or when you call them, there is mteja, you can't get them. That is likely to happen. But the other thing I'd like to tell you is a word for me which has really helped me to master my disappointment. And that word is what if. What if actually that disappointment was meant for me to make me stronger? What if I can actually build my business to become a director, a ruby, a diamond? What if I can actually take my next step through going through all these disappointments? So remember, disappointment is part of the game, and you need to learn how to discipline them. Think about the success that you're going to receive when you go on stage as a brand new director, as a Ruby director, as a Diamond director, President's team member. You will not think about the disappointments you've gone through. You will only think about the success that you've achieved. But remember, getting a no, feeling disappointment sometimes is part of the journey of becoming successful. So I want to encourage you very much. Don't look at disappointment as the end of the world. Look at disappointment as a springboard for future success. I would recommend that you develop something called a cookie jar. When you get a disappointment, think about your past successes, that you've actually managed to sponsor somebody, that you've actually managed to take a step, that you've actually managed to become a leader in your group, that people look up to you. All those disappointments will make you a stronger person so that you can become more successful in the future. So with those few words, I want to wish you a very good week until we meet next time. December is a month that a lot of people are going to spend their money. I remember on Tuesday, one of our distributors, Anga, said that she went for a meeting in Mombasa, and when she came back, 2 customers ordered skincare products, and she made a net profit of 20,000 shillings. There are many people who are looking to spend money in the month of December. So let us go out, speak to our prospects, speak to our customers, and we will get what we are looking for. So Paul, I really want to appreciate the hosting our meeting and doing the recognition for our East African meeting. We really appreciate, and all of you, thank you and God bless.
Thank you, Pascal and Betty. God bless. Good night.
Good night.